Hey guys, using Droid Crunch. I am Lokesh Kapoor, and in this video we are going to talk about iThemes Security Pro. This is a very useful security plugin if you want to secure your WordPress website and don't want hackers to steal your essential precious data, and you want to always stay secure. You don't want to lose your business or anything like that. Then definitely you need plugins like this, and iThemes Security is one of the trusted plugins when it comes to security in WordPress. If you go in the plugins, you click on add new, you can search here iTheme, and you can find here like 1+ million active installations, and you can download. I am using the pro version, so I have downloaded the plugin from here, but I have installed from the upload file. Okay, so here I have the plugin. So here is a dashboard. On the first installation you will be redirected to a walkthrough, and setting up all the settings you will be able to see this dashboard. But that's not the case. You can anytime create more dashboards, so we can start from here. So in the settings tab, from here or from here, you can manipulate all the settings and of course access to all the settings. So starting from the features, it has a login security where you can enable the two-factor authentication. Enabling any of the features from here will give you some settings over here, and clicking on the settings you will be redirected to the configuration page for that specific setting. So if you click on here, you will be redirected to the configuration of login security of two-factor, and here you can set up the flow. You can disable on first login, you can have the protection for the vulnerable user protection, vulnerable site protection, and two-factor is probably very useful if you want a layer of security for your WordPress credentials. So if you click on here, you can see that you have these options, that the authentication methods that is available to the users. You can set it to the all methods or all except email, or select the methods manually. So you can enable mobile application, email, or backup authentication codes for the two-factor. So clicking on all of these would be very useful, and it is recommended as well. So you can set it up here, and in the user groups you have actually the settings for enabling or skipping the two-factor authentication for specific user roles, so you don't have to worry about it. And then you have passwordless login option, so that a link is given in the email of the user, and clicking on the link the user can easily log into the WordPress website. So the user don't have to enter its password and can actually log in. So it is kind of a magic link, okay, with one click. Okay, so the link that you see in the InstaWP, so the website is already on InstaWP. So if you click on here in the dashboard, all the websites, with one click I can access to the website without entering the password. So the same goes with this, and you can have the users to log in biometrics like Face ID, Touch ID, and all of these using the passkey options, and you can enable the per user availability by default, and you have the passwordless login flow to method first or username first. Okay, so method first is like the method that is used. Okay, and you can also have this integration if you have enabled Restrict Content Pro, and you can enable it for the members of Restrict Content Pro, the password logins feature. Okay, and then you have privilege escalation that allows the administrators to temporarily grant extra access to the user of the site for a specific period of time. Okay, so for example, if a contributor or probably editor wants to check in something, or you want them to check in something that you have only access, then you can give the access of a specific thing to the editor for a specific period of time, and this feature is called privilege escalation, and it's very useful. And then you have trusted devices option that you find in many social media websites, that you have some trusted devices. Click on this button right here, you can restrict the capabilities of this feature. Okay, and it is a beta feature, and it allows you to set session hijacking protection as well, that protects against session hijacking by verifying that user's device doesn't change during a session. Okay, and then you have pass keys that allows you to log in with biometrics like Face ID, Touch ID, and Windows Hello, and all of these. And you also saw this feature in the here and here. Okay, pass keys, right? And this 2, 4, and 1 denotes to the number of options that are available. When you click on here, you have like 4 options. Okay, and when you click on here, you have 2 options, and trusted devices, you have 1 option. So you can enable trusted devices option feature. Okay, it requires the users to approve logging in from new devices. Okay, so every time the user is logged in with a new device, it will be added to its system. So it's like Google also uses this feature, so it also has some trusted devices. You can remove them manually as well, and this is very useful feature, I would say, though in beta, but it's still very useful when it comes to full-fledged. Then you have some lockout features where you can ban the users IP addresses and agents from accessing the website. When you click on it, you can set it to default ban users that are or that are included in the hackrepair.com. It is a ban list website which is developed by Jim Walker. So click on this button will by default ban the list of all the all the list that is developed here. Okay, it's very useful. And then you have some custom bans and limit them in server configuration files. You can also set them here, add 1 user agent per line, and then you can enable local brute force that add to, you can also set automatically ban admin user. Admin is very potential or vulnerable kind of username, so you get it when you first install your WordPress. So if you have any user that is having a username of admin, then it is recommended that you quickly change that username or delete that and create a new one with administration privileges but having a different username than admin. And that is very basic, because otherwise you will receive so many brute force attacks or kind of attacks that you cannot handle until you use plugins like this. And then you have login attempts where you can limit the number of maximum login attempts per host, and you can also set the maximum login attempts per user as well. And then number of minutes to remember the bad login check period, 5 is recommended, and you can also change it to for 10 to 5 or 15 or whatever you desire. And then you have network brute force. So local brute force is different thing, and network brute force is different thing. It is a network of sites that reports and protects against bad actors on the internet, and it protects your site against the hackers that try to randomly guess login details to your website. Okay, so we talked about this. Then you have magic links that bypass lockout options, allows you to log in while your username or IP is logged out. Okay, then you have this captcha feature that works for the comments, logging, forms, and all of those, and you can easily have that captcha option over there. And then you have site check, so any file change you can monitor, and you will get an email or notification about the change in file. But here you can exclude the files that you find that are randomly changed by you yourself, and you don't want to get notification about them, otherwise you will be bloated with all these notifications that you don't want, and they are not relevant, of course, because you are doing that and not any other person trying to change or manipulate the files inside your WordPress. And that's very useful. So any file, kind of caches file, or any random folder that you access or create or gets changed over time, then you can exclude that over here by dragging it. Okay, or you can click on select button over here. And you can also compare files online. Okay, when any WordPress code file or file in an iTheme plugin or theme has been changed in a system, this feature will compare it with the version of on WordPress.org or iThemes as operator determining if the changes was malicious. Currently, this feature only works with WordPress.org files, plugins on the directory, iTheme security plugins, and all those. Okay, so you also know that WordPress comes with all the default files like wp load and .php. All of those files can be checked for any change. So if any update is done, or these files can be compared online, okay, for any change. Then you can set the version management, and you can set this to enable, so that anytime WordPress releases a new version, the update will be done automatically and you don't have to manually do it. And this should be enabled if you are not active on your website quite often. And for example, if you come on your website for monthly basis, or you don't have time to check your website timely, then you can enable this feature because it's very, very useful. These can be security updates as well, so that's why it's important to stay up to date with the latest version of WordPress. Then you have this plugin updates option to automatically install the latest plugin updates, and the same goes with the themes. And then you can protect your website and scan for old WordPress websites and auto update if files have the vulnerability. Okay, and yeah, that was all about version management, user login, site scan, scheduling, and all that. Then you have option to enforce the SSL, so that all the connections on the website are made over the SSL. Okay, that's very important, otherwise leaks would there and your website can go down on the search engine as well. That's why it is very important. And then you have database backups option, so that you can create them and create the backups of your website, especially for the database. And if something goes down, then you always have option to get back. Okay, the configuration goes with the email. You can get the data of your database on your email. You can save it locally and email as well, both, or you can save it locally only. It is recommended that you go with the email option or the both option. Okay, you can set the location as well where the database backup will be loaded. You can also set the scheduling of the database for a specific interval in days. Okay, so for example, you can set it to 5 days. So every 5 days a database backup is created and is sent to you over email. Okay, and you can set the backup tables as well, and you can easily exclude specific tables from the database backup. Okay, if you're using a hosting, then you can also check out with your hosting whether they are taking backups of your website. So if anything goes down, you can ask them for a backup. And it is also useful if you go with any other backup plugin, or if you upgrade your hosting to a backup plan. They offer $1, $2 for backups. So if you buy that plan, it will be very, very useful. So if in worst situation, if anything happens with the website, you always have a B plan and you can easily restore the website from the backup. So that's very useful. And then you have geolocation feature to improve the trusted devices by connecting to an external location or mapping the API. And then you have all these settings over here from all these 4 options. Okay, and then you have all the user roles. You can set what they can access. If it is an editor, you don't want them to access the global settings of your iThemes security plugin. You don't want to manage the dashboard of your iThemes security. You can also set them to or enforce them to use strong passwords. Yeah, they should use. You can also allow them to strengthen the password on the side with automated password expiration. You can refuse compromised passwords. Okay, and then you have option for them to skip the two-factor onboarding. So the two-factor would not be required when they are first time logging in or first time creating their account. And you can set this to require as well, so the editors will need to have two-factor authentication enabled. Okay, and yeah, you can set this to allow remembering device, so when they log in they will have option to remember this device, and if this enabled they will be prompted to a two-factor code in the next 30 days while they're using their current device. And you can also enable passwordless login for them, and you can allow two-factor bypass if passwordless login option is enabled. So if in any case they are not able to log in from the two-factor, they can have this option, the passwordless login. Okay, and you can also set activity monitoring for them, so any activity when they log in or all of these or save content, anything like that will be monitored and shown to you. You can also enable trusted device feature for them for any user role. So these settings are available to you for all of these user roles, so you can easily manipulate them. And for administrator, you can enable most of these settings because it is the main account from where you can access all the settings. So it's very essential to secure your administrator account. And then you have all of these configurations that we talked about from the features. Features will have option to enable and disable the feature. Clicking on the gear icon, settings gear icon, you can access to the configurations and set the configurations. Then you have option to receive the emails about anything. For example, you have the security digest emails, and if you don't want to receive the emails, you can opt for that as well. So if it is enabled, you will receive the email, but if it is not, then you will not. You can schedule, you can set it to weekly if you don't want to receive it on a daily basis. Site lockout notifications, so someone if is logged, then you will get a notification that the user is logged. And if your website is very popular, then it's possible that you will receive this notification quite often. So it is recommended that you disable it if you have configured very well your setup here, or you log in your website pretty often, then you can easily disable this option. Okay, and save the changes. And then the database backup, so you will receive the email about the database backups. If any file is changed, you will get a notification. If any unrecognized login attempt is done on the website, then you can set a notification for the export notifications, magic links, lockout, bypass notification, and all the notifications of such types you can manage from here. And one of the very important and very useful feature in iThemes security is about exports. So all of these settings that you have made on one of your websites, you can easily create an export option, and all the features that you want, settings, all of these you can easily export. You can give it a name like your website name, DC iThemes settings. Okay, and you can create an export file. Click on the list, and here you can download it on your local. Okay, and now on another website where you have installed iThemes Security Pro, you can click on the import button and click on the upload file, choose a file and upload it. So this way you can easily use this awesome security plugin on your websites. Okay, and then you have this dashboard. So when all of the settings are done, you can go back to dashboard. From here you can see for the side scans. Okay, you can set it for the time for last 7 days. Okay, and then you have these update summary for WordPress updates, plugin updates, theme updates, and total updates. Then you have this lockouts, bans overview, this user security profiles, okay, brute force attacks, banned users over time, okay, and database backups, all done. Trusted devices. You can also manage all of these cards from here. You can add them or you can remove them, okay, easily. You can also set the alerts in the settings. You can manage whether you want this security option in this menu bar here or not, and if it's enabled, you can see all the admin messages about the security related notifications, okay. And then you can also add more dashboards if you want. You can also scale them down, okay, like this. You can easily drag any of these tab or cards based on your requirements, okay. So this is how this plugin works. You can see the locks here, and it can definitely give you a seamless experience when using on your website. Coming to the pricing of this plugin, it's a very affordable plugin if you are using it on multiple websites, not on a single website, because if you are using it on a single website, it will cost you $99 per year. And but you go with the agency or other plan, you can see you can secure multiple websites by paying very minimal amount. So for example, if you have 5 to 8 websites, then you can go with the agency plan and have it for approx $300 and get all the features, okay. And if you go with this plan that's called Best Value, the WordPress Web Designers Toolkit, you not only get access to the iThemes Security Pro, but you also get access to the Cadence Pro, Cadence Blocks Pro, Restrict Content Pro, all of the plugins that are developed by the company, okay. So yeah, there are pros and cons of it, but by now using on some of my websites, I don't see any performance related issues or any issues regarding notifications or anything like that. But comparing to other options like WordPress, I have seen that iThemes security is very easy to use and comes with more options than the WordPress, okay. So this was my overall review about iThemes Security Pro. If you want to download it, you can check out the link in description, and share this video with your friends, with your colleagues who are using WordPress and want to secure website. And for watching more videos, you can hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And till then, bye bye, have a wonderful day.